We got a question in from somebody in the nonprofit sector, and they were wondering, how do you reconcile all the different needs of our various stakeholders in a nonprofit? So, you have donors, you have the board of directors, you have the staff, you have the rest of the city or the county or state who's looking at this nonprofit. So how do you think you balance everyone in there?
It's definitely harder for a nonprofit than it is for a for-profit, right? So first step is, what is our underlying purpose? Second step is, who is our real customer? Whom are we really serving? What happens to nonprofits is that we all get torn in every direction except for our purpose. So we have board members, all of whom have joined our nonprofit for a whole bunch of different reasons.
Right.
Okay. Too often, personal agendas. If you're dependent on donor funds to operate, and the vast majority of nonprofits are, you can get trapped in this whirlwind of chasing donations and donors, as opposed to thinking more strategically about how we're going to fund the service or product that we provide to our customer.
And there's a really interesting dynamic I find between CEOs and the board, and trying to figure out who is in charge of an organization and who's really leading it.
Well, I think in the private sector, even though the CEO knows she or he is an employee of the board, hired by the board, evaluated by the board, and can be fired by the board, they know that. They also know that the board expects them to lead the company's strategy and organization, and to lead proposals, bring proposals to the board, and try to align the board around them. In nonprofits, you have to, in my judgment, take that position, because if you don't, if you sit there for a minute or two, someone on the board is going to intervene and want to take charge. In a weird way, the leadership challenge is even greater, because you have less authority, right? And your board's expectation is that they have more control. And lots of times, a few of them are big donors, so they really feel like they have more control and more say. Although they should understand, once they've made the gift, gifts owned by the nonprofit, gifts should be used to serve your beneficiaries.